In the history of COD Zombies, one of, if not the most important times for a game every single time is DLC 1. It sets the foundation for what to expect for the rest of the year, and a lot for the future of the game resides on the reception of it. It's what almost caused the death of COD Zombies back during BO2, that is before Mob of the Dead came out and saved the franchise. It's what helped seal the deal for the fate of the Black Ops 4 Zombies future DLC maps. And it's also what helped secure Black Ops 3 as one of the most beloved Zombies games of all time. But unlike the old games, DLC is gone, and we're now in the era of live service. And this means rather than one singular drop of content and changes, we actually get multiple now over the course of a few months. And Season 1 has been pretty weird to say the least, as some of the changes and additions so far have been amazing, while others have actively made the game worse than it was at launch. And so today, we're taking a look back at the first season of Black Ops 6 Zombies, to see what did it do well, and what did it do wrong, as well as taking a look at the precedent it's setting for the future of Black Ops 6 Zombies. And honestly, looking back on it, Season 1 started off super strong. With the initial launch and Reloaded update not too long after, we got a ton of great stuff super early on. So first up, I want to get into the kind of gameplay changes and fixes. And here, I want to start off with the good. So first up, a max armor actually now refills your armor stock as well as your current armor. This is actually a really good change, but now it's actually probably one of the better drops in the game. As I touched on in the last video, the Mangler spam and health have been nerfed, and finally hopping into those higher rounds again, I'm only getting like 4 to 5 Manglers max. As compared to what it was before, it was usually like 10 or more every single round. And this spawn rate actually also applies to the enemies on Citadel as well, so it's super nice. Special rounds have been fixed, and playing with this now, it's so nice. I actually look forward to these every single time rather than being something I dread. Guns just don't bounce around your screen for literally no reason anymore because, oh, dude, it's real life. Genuinely, this is one of the best changes, not just since launch, but it's one of the best changes to the foundation of modern COD in years. And while there was a lot of good stuff here, there is something that really bothered me, and I cannot stand it. Now you spawn in with 3 gobblegums from your pack, no matter what, every single time. You're not even hitting the machine. You guys know that meme that shit is like, this shit is so ass? Like, it's literally this. I hate this. Yep, this shit sucks. I literally never interact with the machine now. I just spawn in with the 3 get out of jail free cards I would normally try to get in the game, and I almost never go back to the gobblegum machine. I pretty much forget it even exists. What I hate about this is that it just adds on to the part of modern Zombies game design that I hate so much. Just handing the players stuff we used to have to work for. You know, you spawn in with any lethal equipment, any tactical of your choice. Spawn in with any specialist of your choice, tier 1 armor, literally any non-wonder weapon gun in the game, and now the best 3 gobblegums you have as soon as the game starts. So with the general gameplay changes from launch and Reloaded covered, let's get into what we care about most, to see how was the actual quality of the new content here in the first half of Season 1. Well, we got a brand new Scorestreak, the hand cannon, and I genuinely love this. I touched on this in my previous video, and it really does kind of feel like it changes the game on the maps that have Manglers specifically, as they're a lot less annoying to deal with on those higher rounds. And it's actually balanced fairly well because it's a risk-reward item. You're not invincible when you're using it. And I feel like this is how all of the Scorestreak should work. Honestly, nothing should give you invincibility. Even if you're going into something like an RCXD or something like that, you should still be vulnerable when you're pulling it out, you know? And we've also got 3 new gobblegums here. We got Power Keg, and this one's great. It refills your entire team specialist. And whether you're going for a high round, doing a boss fight, just trying to get out of a sticky situation. Also, it's only a rare, like the lowest rarity. Hell yeah, dude. I'm giving this bad boy an S tier. You really can't go wrong with it. But speaking of going wrong, timeout. I mean, it's a nice addition, although I don't think it deserves that ultra status. It's essentially a longer killing time, but without the actual good part, which honestly makes it kind of lame. I just don't ever really see myself using this over something like Idolize. Overall, it's just a mid version of killing time. It's just pretty eh. Oh yeah, and we got Christmas mode, guys. Yeah, it's just a waste of a whimsical slot. I'm giving this one a fat L. But guys, we got something cool here. We got a brand new perk. 𝘿𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙀 is back. Overall, this is a solid perk. It's honestly one of my favorites in the entire game. The machine itself looks pretty sick, but I don't know why they massacred the perk icon. Why they have to change it to green? And so the base ability of this perk is actually the same as it was back in Black Ops 2. It just allows the zombies to start dropping points and ammo, which on its own is pretty cool already. It's a nice addition. And the augments are actually really good too. Being able to charge your specialist, have a gas cloud to make you invincible for a little bit, or even to have the zombies drop more wonder weapon ammo as the majors. And then for the minor augments, we have the ability for zombies to drop more salvage, a higher chance for zombies to drop the same equipment you already have, and being able to pick up stuff from further away. And here the salvage and equipment augments are so nice. Both of them really switch up how you play the game. The only one that really sucks here is being able to pick up stuff from further away, just because the other 2 are so good. And if they were to change this to try and make it better, I think what they could do to just have stuff auto-deposited into your inventory. So just don't even have it drop at all. And another thing that was actually pretty cool is the new ammo type. And this actually fills a slot in the game that really hadn't been done before, where it's more of a support healing utility, with most of the augments doing stuff like kind of boosting the regen, lifespan, the range, that kind of stuff, but you can also augment it into being like half support, half damage. So yeah, this ammo type's actually like a nice welcome addition. It's kind of fun to switch things up. But, you know, it's not good. Tesla Storm. Yeah, woo! Drip-fed Cold War Zombies content, woo! Yeah, spoiler alert, this thing sucks. I have a question for you. What does this even do? What niche or purpose does this fill in the game that hasn't been done before or is done better by something else in the game already? I want to know whose idea was it to bring back some random ability from Cold War that was actually the one I used the most in that game, but remove the one thing it did that was actually good. In Cold War, you got 10 points every single time it touched a zombie, so you can run in and out of a horde and rack up points. And it kind of felt a little bit like that old point system. But now that's gone because it just caps at 10 per zombie. And the augments suck too, like the team link, just increasing damage, who cares? Shockwave, discharge, I don't even know if this one works. Increasing the link distance, I don't know, it's almost useless, who cares? Overclocked, increasing your speed, it's barely even noticeable. And just increasing the duration, I don't know, I guess it's okay. Overall, I see this ability as just a complete waste of space, and I'll probably forget it even exists in about a week. And next, we've actually got some new modes, with the first one being directed. It's both a great way to get new players into zombies, as well as get casuals more into the idea of completing a main quest. Treyarch also just announced that it's helped with increasing the Easter egg completion rate, over doubling it. That gives Activision all the more reason to give Treyarch the funding that they need to make the Easter eggs even crazier than we've ever seen. So shortly after the Reloaded update, we got Jingle Hells, giving us an awesome reskin of Liberty Falls with some huge gameplay changes, both good and bad. But overall, it's pretty different and it's more content, which is great to see. And so I'm glad it's here to stay, in that it definitely won't get removed after like 2 weeks to be replaced with a heaping pile of dog shit. But most importantly, we got ourselves a brand new map, Citadelle Des Morts. Overall, this is a great step in the right direction. And at launch, this was initially received super well by the community. But in my opinion, it's aged a little bit worse than expected. For both myself and a lot of others out there, we loved the map at first, you know? It felt challenging, it was refreshing having like this new setting that felt different. But it is a bit small and simple, and it's gotten quite a lot easier as time has gone on. But honestly, overall, I think the map does a lot more good than it does bad. You know, things like the setting and atmosphere being fantastic. I just love that we're finally out of the military facility aesthetic. Another great thing is that the characters and story had huge improvements, like stuff like the mid-game Maya Easter egg cutscene and the general story developments with like Richtofen and Kraft. That shit was so cool. And we even had the original Chaos theme playing when you meet Kraft. Oh my god. Like, dude, all of this shit got me so hyped and way more invested in the story. And of course, I can't talk about Citadel without mentioning the wonder weapons and the incantations. Both of these are just super fun. They really switch up the way you play the game, and it helps make the gameplay of Citadel just a little bit more distinct than kind of like Liberty Falls and Terminus that came before it. But honestly, one of my favorite things about this map is we actually got a new enemy that we hadn't seen before, the Doppelgast. And it's different mechanically too. It just kind of like hauls ass at you. And I don't know, dude, it was just so nice playing a map and actually having something different instead of just recycled Cold War Zombies enemies again. And also, in my opinion, I think the main quest is pretty good. I mean, I wish it was a bit longer, but doing the steps for the swords and the incantations were super fun, and the little puzzles that come after, and I also think the boss fight was super solid, and I genuinely think it might be my favorite quest since Black Ops 4 as well. And so after the initial release and great reception of Citadel, everyone was feeling really good about this game, and it felt like it would only be up from here. So within only a couple days after the launch of Citadel, players were sure to notice that randomly one of the most integral characters to the story, Samantha Maxis, sounded extremely off. Some wondered why they had her redo her lines, while others began to theorize that she may have been recast. But guys, there's no way that they would do that. She's been playing Sam since the start of Zombies back in 2008. Yeah. So yeah, Julie Nathanson, the voice of Sam for over a decade, not only got the boot and is no longer playing the character, she's also had her past work and legacy in this game completely erased. It's one thing to let someone go and recast them as a new actor, kind of like what they did with Frank Woods, while I still think it's kind of scummy. But it's another to replace them and then not just do that, but also have the new person impersonate all of the past lines and completely erase the past person's work. Which not only sounds awful and is just unnatural, it's also just a spit in the face to Julie. And she had honestly given a really great performance so far in Black Ops 6. And no hate to the new actor, but just it's night and day between which is better. You know, Julie's been playing this character forever. She is the character. Like, imagine if we had Nolan North, the voice of Richtofen, replaced. Like, it would not be the same. He is Richtofen. And with someone like Julie gone, it's entirely possible. And it honestly may have already happened. As after people started noticing this, some industry insiders started to come out and talk about how it's not just her, but most, if not all of the current crew of zombies would probably be replaced in the near future. And so everyone was wondering, like, why? It's unfortunately due to a lack of AI protections in their contracts. And this is where everything really started to fall apart. All that goodwill and faith they had finally built up for this game, all of that just absolutely shat on and thrown out the window. And sadly, it just only gets worse from here. As speaking of AI, the use of AI slop is just fucking everywhere. It's just infected the entirety of this game to the point where it's unavoidable. You know, you boot up the game, and it's, oh, yes, finally, AI slop. You go to purchase a bundle, yep, that's not made by a human, this is AI slop. Promotional image, guys, look, AI sloppy, look, 6 finger. It was also during this time where the game was actively getting worse and worse, and the only thing that was getting changed or added was bundles. And they weren't even good. Like, some of them were literally unusable, with a good chunk of them even including some that I personally purchased legitimately put you at a disadvantage. And so not only do these bundles that they're adding have stuff that's going to put you at a disadvantage, as well as just AI slop content, we're being sold blatantly reused and regurgitated repackaged content. Stuff like the frontman operator, which you would think would be a brand new like operator with new voice lines and quotes and stuff like that, but it's literally a copy and paste word for word of the quotes of the replacer, just under the guise of new content.
I can't feel my face.
I can't feel my face.
Smooth. Too smooth.
Smooth. Too smooth.
And like I said, this was all coming out while the game was in a absolutely broken state. The servers were constantly unstable, making the only online feature of this game absolutely atrocious, with me losing multiple high round games to the point where I kind of just stopped playing, you know? And sometimes the game was just down to the point where it was literally unplayable, like you just couldn't even start a match. And it was during these times in the past where you could just play offline for a little bit, but here in Black Ops 6, you're just locked out of the game. But there was a light at the end of the tunnel. There was a Season 1.75 patch that can maybe help try to fix this game. And we actually started this off pretty strong with the highly requested sword buff on Citadel, with all of them having a buff to like elemental attack, the charge specials, and being able to kill 2 per swing now. But you know, it couldn't just be something good, guys. If they're gonna fix something, they might as well take 2 steps backwards for zero reason. And so 𝘿𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙪𝙾, which was something I personally enjoyed quite a bit and had a lot of effort put into it, with a unique aesthetic and completely different gameplay, was removed for Squid Games. Guys, Squid Games fucking sucks. It's genuinely the worst alternate round-based mode I've ever seen, and it literally did nothing good for this mode. There was little to no aesthetic changes. There was a fucking round cap limiting the amount of fun you're allowed to have, and they keep inching it up more and more. But you know what? It doesn't fucking matter because they're gonna get rid of it, and you'll never be able to play it again. And with the cherry on top of the cake, all of the side Easter eggs and main Easter egg are disabled. Okay, yeah, I touched this shit for 2 seconds, then forgot it existed. It's a genuine waste of time and one of the biggest steps backwards for alternate modes in zombies we've ever seen. And so alongside this, we got some patching of speedrun strats on Terminus, which was pretty niche and only just hurt the speedrunning scene. They nerfed the fact that Shadow Rift was able to kill boss zombies, which was literally the only reason to use it, and it actually helped make higher rounds a little bit more fun on a lot of the maps because they're absolute bullet sponges. And you know, getting rid of this ability on these guns just makes it even more necessary to have to use that stupid fucking Scorestreak strat on every single map. Like, I get that it wasn't intended, but in my opinion, it honestly improved the gameplay, and it just sucks even more that they waited 2 whole months to adjust it. And then of course, they nerfed directed mode by adding a long ass pause if you stay on the same round over and over again. One of the best parts about it was introducing new players into the mode, but then this just makes it boring mode, and so why would a new player find this fun? Like, that's just why? But thankfully they did listen to us on some things, with the speedrun fix and the directed mode nerf being reverted. I love that they ended up going back on these things, but what sucks is the fact that they even happened in the first place. You know, instead of actually fixing the real issues with the game, stuff that's making it unplayable now, we're just not even touched at all in favor of stuff like this that no one asked for. And all it did was make the community feel even worse about the game than they already did. And then it was at this point, after all this bullshit, where people started to lose faith. And you know, it's not just zombies, it's multiplayer and Warzone as well. And this was the community deemed death of COD. And it wasn't just doomers being negative, the game was legitimately dying. Player numbers were down half of what they once were. You know, these games have always made mistakes, but people have never really left in droves like they are now. And as a lifelong fan of the franchise, I've never seen it in a state like this. And so here's my overall thoughts with Season 1. With the good, they finally showed us that live service doesn't mean less quality or less content. If you take a look at all the stuff we got this season, we got more high quality content faster than we ever had, for free. Within just over 2 months, we got a slew of new guns, 3 new guns, a new specialist, a new AAT, a new perk, a new streak, 3 new game modes, a bunch of gameplay fixes, and a brand new map with another one and a whole slew of new content just around the corner. And the brand new map we got is a great step in the right direction. But then we've also got the bad side, with pointless choices that just hurt the gameplay, like spawning in with 3 gums, the Shadow Rift nerf, and removing content that's in the game just only after a few weeks. We've got AI slop infecting every inch of this game to the point where voice actors are having to leave, only to be silently replaced and have all of their past work erased. We've got content there, but a lot of it I won't ever use again. You know, stuff like the new guns and the new specialist, I mean, I try them once and then I never interact with them again. There's constant server issues making it a random dice roll if I'll even be able to play the game at a certain day, or if I'll just get randomly booted from the session I'm in. There's still a lack of changes for some of the biggest core issues with the game, all while the shop is still getting updated with brand new bundles every single day. And if I'm being honest, a lot of the core systems that were enjoyable at launch have aged a lot worse than initially expected, making a fun first experience with the downside of it being less replayable. While definitely an improvement compared to Cold War, low rounds are still way too easy, making something like, you know, gobble gums pretty much useless. The same gums that were amazing in something like Black Ops 3 or even Black Ops 4 are awful here in Black Ops 6, even though I love the addition of the system itself. Well, like literally, why would you ever use a cashback? Like the ammo's drop from bosses, we have max ammo so you can buy it from the ammo boxes. What used to be one of, if not the best gobble gums back in the day, I don't even even know if I've ever used it. Something like Nowhere But There was one of the best guns back in Black Ops 4, but now I never use it because I have so many get out of jail free cards. Getting to and reviving a teammate is pretty much always a guarantee. And ones that would be great if they were in OG Zombies, stuff like wall-to-wall clearance, wall power, crate power, are just things I pretty much never use here, as I never really interact with those systems like wall buys in the box, thanks to having loadouts. A lot of the weapons just kind of feel the same, and once you've leveled them all up, you aren't really incentivized to use anything else. As due to the way the upgrade and point systems work, you're encouraged to only ever use one gun throughout the entirety of your match and just buy ammo for it. And the game was a ton of fun at the start when you were unlocking new augments and trying them out, but due to the balancing of them, like 70% of them are pretty much useless. And the thing is, they are yet to ever be adjusted or fixed whatsoever since launch. We have a great system here to encourage replayability, yet they made almost all of the other augment options useless, with also no way to save something like your builds. It's so close to being great, and to just leave it as it is with a clear meta choice for every single option is just pretty disappointing. It honestly feels like for every good or great thing this game did this season, there was something awful added or changed alongside it. And to be honest, I've just not really been playing Black Ops 6 recently, and I bet a lot of you haven't either from what I've seen from my friends and the community as a whole. So honestly, if I were to put a number on Season 1, I think I'd give it about a 7 out of 10. You know, it's not awful, and there's a lot of great stuff here, but it's near impossible to look past all the negatives that came along with the season. That just really left a sour taste in everyone's mouths. We started off this season super strong with some incredible content, only to fumble the entire rest of the season and ruin all of the goodwill and hype they worked so hard to build up. And it's at this point where we now look to the future with Season 2. This is launching super soon, and it's going to come with a ton of great new stuff. And most importantly, we're getting a brand new map already, the Tomb, which is some sort of spiritual successor to Origins set within the Paris catacombs. And this looks and sounds incredible so far, but of course there's still some stuff that has me worried. Firstly, this is coming incredibly soon. It's the fastest second DLC map to ever be released, which hopefully isn't the sign of a worse, more rushed product. And unfortunately, we've got reused enemies again. The Doppelgas being back, I don't care about as much, but I mean, it's kind of weird that we've had it 2 maps in a row. But dude, we got the Mimic, dude. Fucking why are we still using the Cold War boss zombies just being drip fed to us? I don't understand. But it's not just those. We've also got the Vermin back and the Amalgams for the 3rd map in a row. With all this enemy reuse and Amalgams in particular, people are hating this. There's a good amount of hype for this map because of how cool it looks, but stuff like these enemies being reused is killing a lot of people's hype. But to me, what's most worrying about all of this is that they're modeling this intentionally after Liberty Falls. And this is due to Liberty Falls being the most played map by far here in Black Ops 6, which guys is definitely due to it being a super high quality, large map with amazing atmosphere and visuals, a great crew, incredible Easter egg and boss fight, and it's definitely not because it's where everyone went from multiplayer and Warzone to easily grind camos and upgrade weapons, and where new players would naturally go to start the game when they're learning, and where those go to easily sit in a corner with an invincibility glitch and just get XP. Now guys, I don't hate Liberty Falls. I think it's a fun little bonus map, but that does not mean it should be the model for the maps going forward whatsoever, except for the side Easter egg content. I think that was done really well. So what exactly are they being inspired by from Liberty Falls? Is this map just going to be super small with less content, with a 3-step Easter egg and a mid-ass boss fight? They say it'll be cramped, but also Liberty Falls is open as balls, so it just doesn't make sense, and I'm not really sure what they're pulling from this map. But hearing that they're taking inspiration from the most basic soulless map here in Black Ops 6 is definitely getting me worried. But it's not just bad, we do have some great stuff too. My boy PBSH is coming back, is one of my personal favorites and one of the most iconic zombies weapons of all time, although a lot of people aren't really that hyped for it right now because of what made the gun so good in the first place was the fact that it was a good point gun, and that's not going to be a thing in this game, so yeah. Oh my god! Oh my god! And the map really does look incredible so far. Visually, aesthetically, oh my god, I've been waiting for this Paris Catacombs map for years, ever since Moon. In the Dark Ether parts on top of that, dude, it's gonna be sick. And the Ice Staff being back from Origins, like, come on, dude, that's fucking sweet. New Gobblegums we got coming actually seem super fun, but we've also got Death Perception coming back with some augments that seem maybe kinda good, but others that seem kinda just pretty useless, I don't know. But we're also getting something like co-op pause, which was super needed, thank you Treyarch, as well as the ability to separate HUDs, finally. One of the most frustrating things for the people like me who play both multiplayer and zombies. And so I think it's safe to say that the future of this game is in a pretty weird spot. It's hard not to be excited. I mean, it's a year of Treyarch round-based zombies, and we've got some incredible new changes and additions coming that I can't wait to see. Yet they're seemingly always going to be plagued by the game's persisting core issues that are yet to be fixed, as well as some horrible decisions that actively hurt the game and ruin the good faith that they've built with the community. And now that's put us in this weird spot where with every great announcement we get, it's also paired along something that kind of sucks, or that just has some random ass change that no one wanted slapped alongside it. Like, I want to watch the trailer for the new map and not just see a mimic and go, And whereas before I was incredibly optimistic, now I'm just as hyped and excited as I am cautious about the future of this game, which isn't exactly what I was hoping to say by the end of the season. And with Season 2 coming out here soon, I think it's going to be more important than Season 1. Will it help with returning Zombies back towards its former glory, or continue this frustrating downward spiral into mediocrity? I guess we're just going to have to wait and see and find out for ourselves. And so with that said, I'm curious, what were your thoughts on Season 1 of Black Ops 6 Zombies? And what changes and additions do you think the game needs the most right now? Let me know down in the comments. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you want to see more from me, you can check out the videos on screen now. To see us react to your thoughts on if Black Ops 6 Zombies initially failed or succeeded, or the other for my thoughts on the difficulty of COD Zombies. And that's about it for me. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.